welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to run you through some tips on how I navigated probably the most intimidating part of cycling, and that is the Peloton, because there was days where I would be the hammer and the days where I'd look at the back of the Peloton and wonder how on earth I'm going to make it from the back to anywhere close to the front. And so that I had some mostly mental strategies to cope with that. But before we start about talks of surfing the Peloton, I want to talk about my sponsor for this video, and that is Surfshark. Surfshark, in case you didn't know, is a VPN. That's a virtual private network. And you know, without the sponsors, this channel doesn't exist, so I want to thank them personally. As I said, VPN, virtual private network, and there is more than 4 reasons why you need a VPN. Number 1 is it hides your IP address, so your city, country, and download history aren't linked to your identity. Number 2 is it helps encrypt all of your data and keep it safe, like your credit card details and your personal information when you're on the public Wi-Fi. Number 3 is if you travel a lot, and the chances are you're often logging into dodgy hotel Wi-Fis, you can also change location easily, so you can jump into watching race pass or anything that's geo-blocked from wherever you are. Surfshark unlocks more than 15 Netflix libraries all around the world. And number 4, Surfshark uses encryption to protect you against snooper and third-party advertisers, so your data isn't being sold on, and subsequently you're not going to be inundated with like pesky pop-ups. For this month, like every month, we've got a Brucey bonus of 83% off and an extra 3 months for free. All you need to do is use my code DOWSIT, that's all in capitals, 2 T's on the end. Surfshark also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there really is nothing to lose. Everything you need is below in the description. And thank you again to Surfshark. Now, the Peloton is an intimidating place. There's no doubt about it. The big, massive underlying problem of the Peloton is generally everyone wants to be in the same place at the same time, which is at the front, but not on the front, in the top 20, when there's a field of 100 trying to be in the top 20. You know, that's, the maths there just doesn't add up. And well positioned into crucial sections like climbs, corners, and the finish line. Now, I get it. It is a scary place, and you've got multiple different kinds of bike riders, and I've had it every so often. Sometimes it's after a crash, sometimes it's just out of nowhere. It can really just lose your mojo on being in the Peloton and holding position. And some of the things I'm going to say, it's very easy to say, very difficult to do, but I'm going to try and give some strategies for getting around that to get your head in the right place, because the Peloton is more about head than legs, but legs do help. So the first one, and that is on the mentality. You have a number on your back. You have paid an entry fee, or if you're a pro, you haven't paid an entry fee, you've just turned up, and you're there on the start line. You might have the local hero there, you may have Wout van Aert there. They've got a number on their back too. You're all in the same boat. There's a chance that any one of you could win, and the chances are all pretty equal. And you've got every right to win along with whoever else is there, which means you've got every right to be in the Peloton along with everyone else. So that's the first step to try and get over the intimidation factor. Just remember, you are in this race, you deserve to be in this race. Your rightful place is in this race because you have a number on your back. Now the second one, and it helps to think about the first one, is to relax. And this is a difficult one to get around. And there's a few training sort of tactics you can adopt. And it's to relax in the Peloton. When you're relaxed, you make good decisions. And being in the Peloton is all about making good decisions. Like where you want to be at the right time is decision making. It's often not strength or fitness, it is just decision making. If you're relaxed, you're going to make the good decisions. You're also not going to burn up nervous energy by just being real tense and second guessing yourself all the time. And I think that second guessing yourself is perhaps number 3, is trying to not think, but trust your instincts more than trying to make a decision each time. Often when there's a gap, you've got to ride into the gap before thinking, I need to ride into that gap, because the chances are the Peloton, that gap will close by the time you thought, I should ride into that gap. It just sounds hairy-fairy, doesn't it? Like, be in the moment, just relax, rely on instinct. All these things that you need to do that do not come naturally if you are nervous. Like, I get that. So if maybe trying to wind back to point number 1, just saying to yourself, I deserve to be here, I have a right to be here, and I have a right to win this race, is the next step. So that will hopefully help you become relaxed. Now, another way of getting yourself into that mind frame, and if crashing is your fear, which is entirely understandable, because the Peloton, how few crashes there are. This is the first one. How few crashes there are in a race never ceases to amaze me with how close everyone's riding. And I think the fundamental thing is no one in the peloton wants to crash. Like everyone wants to win. Second to that, pretty much everyone is thinking, I don't want to crash. Because crashing means injuries, crashing means losing time. Like whatever your motivation is for not crashing, everyone doesn't want to crash. So if you take that piece of wisdom as well, couple it with the fact that you have a right to be there, the fact that no one in the peloton wants to crash, and hopefully that's going to help get yourself into that hairy-fairy, be in the moment, rely on instinct, trust your gut state of mind, where you're not thinking, but you are. And next time, don't stay still on the bunch. If you make it to the front, don't then think, I've made it to the front, I'm there, that's it. Because you'll be at back again real quick. Like really quick, especially if it's a moment that you need to be at the front. A good friend Nathan Haas said to me, when you think about a peloton, it is a constant, it is like a living organism almost, that it is constantly moving, constantly evolving, constantly changing. It never stays the same, so neither should you. So if you get to the front, if the peloton's always moving and evolving and you think, I'm at the front, I'm here now, that you're not going to remain there because everything else is changing around you. It's chaos and you have to be at one with, oh, it's another hairy-fairy thing. You have to be at one with the chaos. You have to relax into the chaos. Maybe that's the overriding thing, relax the peloton, relax into the chaos. That's how you navigate the pro peloton, or any peloton for that matter. But once you get to the front, do not think it is like your God-given right to stay there, or do not think that like I'm there, therefore my job is done. You then have to make efforts to stay there. And to make an effort to go from the back of the peloton to the front is quite a big effort. To make efforts to stay at the front, they're all quite small efforts. Another thing is to trust your ability. Like if you arrive, and where I really realized this and made some good choices was Stage of Torino in 2020, when all the directors are screaming at everyone going, get to the front, be at the front. And I went to the front, I did what I was told, put my nose in the wind, and we're 8 kilometers from the crucial corner that we need to, 8 kilometers, arrow straight, from this crucial corner that we need to be well positioned for, because then we turn onto the coast, cross tailwind, finish line is 8K away. So we're 16K from the finish. I put my nose in the wind and that looked like 500 watts. I was like, well, I can't ride at 500 watts for 8K. And if I can, I certainly can't do 8K more. So this isn't a wise decision for me to be, even though my director's like, be at the front. It's not a wise decision for me to be on the front. And I can't do it. So, and this is the crucial thing, so I'm not gonna try. So a bit realistic with your efforts. And I'm not saying be aspirational, I think, yeah, like, I can do it and all of that, because I'm sure you can, but you know, there's a time and a place for that, and this wasn't. And then waited some more, put my nose in the wind with like 3K to go. It was 550 watts. I was like, I can't do that in. I put my nose in the wind with 1K to go and it was 600 watts. I was like, I don't particularly want to do that either. So I waited until 200 to go. Everyone started fading, popped around the outside, and I was first into the corner, having not done a great deal of effort. So the next thing is to be realistic with your energy expenditure, is what I'm trying to say. Make sure that you are doing things at the right time. And I think that leads me on to the next. Knowledge is power. Like in this day and age, you can have every route uploaded into your GPS, use it. Know when that crucial moment is, know when it is exactly, and plan for it. Because I bet your bottom dollar half the peloton haven't. And so if you have, then you're only racing half the peloton for position rather than all of it. So if it's 10K out from a crucial moment, you don't need to be in the position, don't be. Wait until you need to be in position to get into position. I think the last tip is fitness. It was a very interesting chat I had with Sam Bennett many years ago. Eurosport ran this thing where they wanted riders to interview riders. And Sam's answer to a question was not as I expected. And I am not of the sprinting sort. The inside 1 kilometer to go, for me, at pro level was a chaotic place, and I could not make decisions fast enough to react to the chaos that was happening around me. I said to Sam, how do you do it? And he said, for me, it's all based on fitness. If I'm super fit, then I can make those decisions. And it makes sense. You're super fit, you're not running on adrenaline so much, your heart rate's more controlled, you're not panicking. It's that sense of panic that really, coming back to the whole relaxed thing, it's that sense of panic where you become the pinball in the peloton and you're reacting you're reactive rather than being proactive. Your decisions are being made for you rather than you being able to make decisions. So the fitter you are, the more in control you'll be closer to the finish, and the more you'll be able to make smart decisions as you get to the finish. For a lot of sprinters, they train so hard so that they, one, are able to launch their sprint, but two, they're also able to make good decisions in that final kilometre because they're just far more in control. So fitness, training, that's crucial. And there's also the pushing around, because handlebars do get touched, wheels do get like, and again, telling you to be relaxed is very easy to do. But I would say if you struggle with contact on the bike, like anything, training it. If you're out on a group ride with a close friend that you trust, not with people behind you, just in case, just practice a little bit, just touching, hands on the hood, just touching knuckles, just a light brush, and then more into a bit of a lean. If you're really nervous, try this on grass, on a soft surface, on mountain bikes. You'd be surprised how heavily you can lean on someone as long as you're both ready for it and nothing bad will happen. So I would suggest practicing this, not on a group ride, just in case the worst does happen, but find a friend who wants to practice the same and just, yeah, like I said, just touching knuckles, then lean to like the forearm next, like touch forearm, elbows, and then work up to like a shoulder, or even see if you can touch their shoulder with your helmet. Like that, those kind of things you'd be surprised what you can absorb. And I think the last thing, Peloton bullies exist. They do, I think in every echelon. They do exist. How to deal with them. And this is something I've had to chat to the junior team at Nexo that I'm working with, is how to chat with Peloton bullies, and they do exist. Deal with them the same way as you deal with a bully in the playground at school. You let them know you can't be bullied. So going back, make sure if they lean on you, you can lean back. Now, I'm not saying be a Peloton bully. If there's violence, I'm not condoning violence back. Just show that you are not someone that can be pushed off a wheel, pushed out of line. If the amount of hours I've spent, you've got a wheel in front, you're on someone's wheel, someone comes up and wants that wheel, and you're just riding side by side, you're touching like elbows and knuckles, you're just not letting them know that yes, it is within everyone's right to race. I have no issues if anyone wants the wheel that I'm on, but if I want to be on that wheel, I'm not going to let it go without I think fight is the wrong word, but without a contest. It's like an intimidation thing. You're going to get intimidated off of a wheel, and you can either choose to or persist for so long that they go and find someone else. And the trick is to let them go and find someone else, and then the next time they're not even going to bother trying with you. So if that wheel that you're on and you want to be on it, stay on it. Like, just stay on it. Let the person know that there's a trust. I promise you. If you have someone next to you, you've both got an arm in the wind, a shoulder in the wind, you're both pushing out more watts than you want to be, and that person wants to win this race as well. But don't be the Peloton bully. No one likes that. I always found it far better to make friends in the Peloton than to make enemies, because then they'll just let you on the wheel. That does come down to being a reliable, safe wheel as well. Those are my tips. Thanks for watching. If you have anything else that you think might be of use to anyone watching this video needing help, please drop them in the comments below. And thanks again to Surfshark for sponsoring this vlog.